Judge dismisses Trump's $10 lawsuit against WSJ, Murdoch over reporting on ties to Epstein. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Washington app. A federal judge dismissed President Donald Trump's $10 billion defamation lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch on Monday over a story on his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. U.S. District Judge Darrin P. Gayles in Florida wrote in the order that Trump had failed to make the argument that the article was published with the intent to be malicious, but gave the president a chance to file an amended complaint. In a social media post several hours after the ruling, Trump said the decision is not a termination, but rather a suggested refiling of his powerful case, which Trump said would be done on or before April 27. Trump filed the lawsuit in July, following up on a promise to sue the paper almost immediately after it put a new spotlight on his well-documented relationship with Epstein by publishing an article that described a sexually suggestive letter that the newspaper said bore Trump's signature and was included in a 2003 album compiled for Epstein's 50th birthday. The letter was subsequently released publicly by Congress, which subpoenaed the records from Epstein's estate. Trump denied writing it, calling the story false, malicious, and defamatory. App Audio. Judge dismisses Trump's $10 lawsuit against WSJ, Murdoch over reporting on ties to Epstein. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Magarni reports a federal judge has tossed President Trump's $10 billion defamation suit against the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch. Attorneys for the newspaper and Murdoch had asked Gayles to rule that the article's statements were true and therefore couldn't be defamatory, but the judge wrote that whether President Trump was the author of the letter or Epstein's friend are questions of fact that cannot be determined at this stage of the litigation. Gayles wrote, "Read more. The ruling marks yet another blow in the Trump administration's efforts to manage fallout over its release of the Epstein files and the president's attempts to use the legal system to chill reporting he finds critical of him." The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment. A spokesperson for Dow Jones, which publishes the journal, said the organization was pleased with the judge's decision, adding, "We stand behind the reliability, rigor, and accuracy of the Wall Street Journal's reporting." Meg Kinnard can be reached at https://meg.kinnardap